Okay, something I want to bring to y'all's attention, y'all. I was actually thinking about the fact that you have many people that run from the all caps name, and that's another reason why a lot of you guys don't want to be served, because I've been taught that from the beginning when I first started studying this stuff. They're like, if you serve, they serve you, they got jurisdiction over you when they serve you. I'm like, they got jurisdiction over you. Who? I don't know where we got that from. Well, some of the so-called gurus that's been out here 15, 20 years or more have been saying that, and some of them are still saying it, and I still hear it all the damn time. And so the thing is, we got to correct our speech when we say stuff like that, because we don't understand what we mean by someone having jurisdiction over you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a process server came here today. I told you I got that little notice in the mail a couple of days ago. Was it Monday? It was Monday. Today's Friday. So it's Monday. And they received my response to that notice yesterday, early yesterday. And so I got served by the process server today. The actual complaint or whatever, that the thing that starts the actual court case. And with all these different, they had the thing that had the fake accusations and all in it, and they want you to, it basically starts this thing. So y'all already know I got to answer that. I'm going to answer that. I answer everything. You have to answer everything. You don't not answer. You answer and you don't answer you don't have to answer with a whole bunch of fluff. Just answer straight to the point. Be done with it. Okay, now, back to my point. Many of you guys have been taught, to run from being served, and then they'll try to use, them not serving you as a reason to try to get off child support, saying they didn't serve and I never got served, and use that for grounds for dismissing the default judgment or whatever they did to you. The thing is, the name in all caps is your estate. You have to keep that in mind. The name in all caps is your estate. Okay, you have to keep that in mind. It's not you, but they have to serve the person who the estate who the estate actually belongs to. And so this is why I made the little video about Rule Nisi. That is what it's called, Rule Nisi. If I pronounce that properly, Rule, and then Nisi. If that's a Latin term, basically letting you know that this is what's going to happen if you don't answer. It's an order only if you don't answer. So it lets you know, if you look up that term. Wish I got that paperwork and brought it with me. Okay, I went in the house to go get it. There's actually a stack of damn papers they got on this damn thing. I got the entry of service, basically, where the deputy sheriffs, those deputies are also process servers. So you shouldn't get nervous every time you see one thinking you're going to jail. But that term right there. There it is, right there. Rule Nisi right there. If you look that term up, Rule Nisi, it's a Latin term. I think I made another video about that. It's a little short video. Just look at the video that I'm probably going to post right after this one. But it's in short, it's basically letting you know that you have to answer that. If you don't answer that video, if you don't answer it, let me just see if I just look it up anyway and show y'all. Okay, here you go. Rule Nisi. It's a court order that will become final unless someone shows the court why it should be changed. So you have to respond to it. It's like a temporary decision that can become permanent if no one objects. A decree is a final decision made by a court, either in a specific type of case like divorce or probate, or as a general judgment. So you have to answer that shit. So it's not a death sentence. Like they got you. Damn, they served me. It's shit. I can't. They got me. I'm gonna be on child support. No, you have to answer this. You have to answer. You have to file in the court case an answer to the document. You know what I'm saying? It tells you that. And so let me see something. Yeah, I'm gonna read this little part right here. It's basically saying now. It said, now therefore you are ordered to be to be and appear before the judge of the superior court in the above name count. They basically give me the time and where. Say and from the day to the term. It say and from day to day and term to term, as the court may direct to show cause why in order as prayed for by the plaintiff should not be entered, requiring you to furnish support of the said child as required by law. Say the hearing location is basically telling you the hearing location is where it's supposed to be at. So basically telling you have to respond. You have to let them know why we shouldn't file this, why we shouldn't make this entry in a court order on this situation. So this is you just have to respond to this stuff. If you don't respond to it, then your wages start getting garnished. That's why your shit got garnished, because you didn't respond. I'm a proactive dude. They're gonna get tired of me fucking with them. So I filed paperwork. I don't have no problem doing that. I actually started it, but I didn't finish it today because I'm like, it's almost 5 anyway when I started, and I wasn't gonna be able to do nothing with it. Because I didn't get this till around maybe 3 o'clock, the 3 o'clock hour today. And hell, it's like 6 now. It's 6:43 now as I'm recording. So on this document, I guess I put y'all in my business a little bit. It's actually with the Georgia Department of Human Resources. They actually, on behalf of my son, they actually have his name as the plaintiff. They haven't received, of course, they haven't received my. They've received it, but this was probably already in the mail on its way to me already by the time they received my revocation of power of attorney. So they already got that. So I already served them on that. But I got to get the judge, I got to get the county clerk, and I got to get this other lady who also, the lady who actually prepared it. She's the assistant district attorney with a revocation, with the power of attorney. So she can actually sit a little ass down. Okay. Now, I'm really just making this video so you have to understand the importance of actually answering these things. And it's not like they don't, it's like they don't have jurisdiction over you because you got served. You know what I'm saying? We have to watch the language we're using. They have jurisdiction to adjudicate the case. You know what I'm saying? Because we are in the right venue. We are in Superior Court. We are in the state of Georgia. You know what I'm saying? We are in Georgia, not state of Georgia, not the company, not the the entity, but the actual land called Georgia. But we are in that demographic location, so they're able to adjudicate the case, accordingly. Now, if they have a personal jurisdiction over your person, that's another situation. Now, when you revoke somebody's power of attorney, they don't have jurisdiction over your person. That's what you got to remember. Keep that in mind. If you, John Doe, grant me power of attorney to do things on your behalf, financially, whatever, medically, whichever, and you sign off on it, I sign off on it, I'm able to do these things. Keep in mind, a springing power of attorney takes place when you were born, before you were born, actually. And it kicks in with the day that you're born. Okay, that's when they actually start doing these things with this parents padre shit they got going on, when they're supposed to be the father of the child. You know what I'm saying? Father of the nation, or whatever they call it. They're presumed to be the child, the child's father, which is one of the reasons, probably why they didn't put my name nowhere in the birth records. Okay, but I'm trying to stay on point. But once you reach the age of majority, you reach an age where you actually can take control of your own stuff. Most people don't know that there was a power of attorney put in place in the first place. They don't know that mama gave them that type of power when she consented, when she filed these parental consent forms. It was something else this guy had mentioned in my under one of my videos today. Let me see what it was he said. Yeah, it's in the video where I was talking about my son's birth records. And this is a little off topic, but I'm going to cover it since I'm looking at it, since it came to mind. And somebody commented under here, and she said, I noticed on my job, because I work in a hospital, say it's on pregnancy verification forms. So what we were talking about with the parents padre, the video, I called it Parents Padre, something I just found, which I was talking about the birth records. how they create these entities that are not even, it's not even you, it's not the mother. It's like they use a wordplay of the mother's name in all caps, but they put boy or girl as the first, and then the first name of the mother as the middle, and then they put the last name, as the family. But they put last name, comma, boy, and first name of the mother. Like that. That's a whole entity by itself in all caps. They got that in the birth record, but they don't have the father's name nowhere in there. You know what I'm saying? Because that's when the parents padre situation kick in. Bottom line is the state is playing the role of your father when you're a baby, and you never revoke it once you become an adult. When you grow up, you're supposed to learn this stuff. And they don't teach you in school, so if you don't study on your own, you won't find out. So the name on there was the name on your estate. That's the name of your estate. The same name that your mother and father gave you, that's the name of your estate as well. Everything that you own is in the name of the estate. All the property that you accumulate is a collection of your estate. That's why it's called an estate. The definition of an estate is the total sum of all the totality of all of your property. Okay, and it's not just limited to material stuff. It could be intellectual property. Your rights and labor, all that belongs to you. But it's in they use that name for commercial purposes. The name is in all caps, so you can do business with that name. So that's how you do business. That's how you get property, is with the estate, the name on the estate. So keep in mind, you are supposed to control that name. So when you don't control that name, then they have jurisdiction over you because they have control over that name. You never revoked any power of attorney that they have over your name. So if you don't revoke it, they're going to control you. You have to revoke it. If you don't revoke their power, they're going to control you using that name. If you allow it. Or it's still under your consent. It's still by your consent. So keep in mind, I didn't know nothing about this stuff back in 2017. 2016 when the case started. 2017 is when it ended. But I didn't know nothing about the power of attorney back then. But I still didn't consent. When you don't consent and you make it clear in writing, like that rule Nisi term that I showed you, which is a Latin term, if you don't respond, you by acquiescence you agree. You know what I'm saying? If you don't show up in court, by acquiescence you agree. If you show up, you don't see the answer. Keep in mind the Cesar KV Act of 1666. After 7 years, you're presumed dead if there's no evidence to the contrary. That started when you were a child. Okay. It carries on even by the fact that you're incompetent. You're in a place of incapacity because you can't talk, you can't communicate, you can't think for yourself, you can't handle your own affairs as a child. And you stay like that as long as you don't know what's going on in the courtroom. So when they serve you something like that, that power of attorney is still kicking in. They're still doing shit on your behalf. Okay? So when you don't show up, you don't file no answer in there. It's still proven. It's still going as they're going under the assumption that you are missing, lost at sea, an absentee. Depends on what state you're in. They use these terms. State of incapacity. You look up incapacity. I got a video on that. These are the terms they use when you're not around. You're not showing. You're not proving that you're still alive. And when a living man comes forward, the judges cannot administer their estate. Nobody can administer your estate if once you have proven to you that you are alive. Now, let me add something to that. If you got a power of attorney, you still have to serve them. I keep telling y'all that. Keep in mind, when that power of attorney was created, when they took control of your estate, take control of doing things on your behalf when you're a baby, you're first born. They're doing things on your behalf. Paperwork that's being done. They submit it. They get to submit this stuff without the mother being there. The mother submitted it to them, so they're doing what they got to do with it on her behalf, on your behalf as a baby. That stuff stops. They can continue doing that, but it can continue doing that until you stop it. When you become self-governing, you're able to do things on your own. But if you don't never serve them, you create as a power of attorney, and that power of attorney specifically say that the previous powers of attorney and other powers of attorney are hereby revoked, then you're gonna keep getting control because they're still able to operate. Like right now, I'm in Georgia. Take for instance, I'm in Georgia. all of, say I start living in, say, Wyoming somewhere, and that means I'll have to serve the power of attorney to any entity I'm starting to do business with there, because I have never done that before there. You know what I'm saying? So any entity I encounter who's they're trying to administer my estate for whatever reason, they need a power of attorney right away, so that so you can take control of that situation, and they're not doing things on your behalf, and it's really for their own benefit. You know, that's not because they're not supposed to do that for their own benefit. But since you don't know the power of attorney even exists, you don't even know they have that kind of control like that. You don't know that it's something that you can revoke. So you go in there and you just kind of go along with this shit. We've accepted them as being able to railroad you. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. I just thought I'd kind of point out something about, you know, when you're getting served, man, you just got to be real. Just answer this shit, man. You know, me myself, I looked on here. I found out the name of the judge because they didn't say the name of the judge in the paperwork. So I called up there, found out the name of the judge. I'm going to Monday because it was like almost 4 o'clock. It was almost 4 o'clock when I called up. It was like 6 minutes to 4 o'clock when I called up the county recorder's office to find out where he was at, because he's not in this county. He's in another county. So when I looked him up, his mailing information, you know, he had 2 different addresses, but they were in another county. So I thought I'd call the county recorder's office, the county probate office in that county, to find out what I had to do to get a certified copy of his oath. And she was saying that, the lady was saying that you can't, how can she say? She said you can come up here and you can pick it up, and it's $2 a copy, or it's $2 a page. And she said, but they close at 4:30. And I'm like, it was already 4 o'clock, and I ain't even taken a shower and nothing yet. I said, okay, well, I just come up there Monday and get it. But I just want to know what I need to do to get it. And so you just be nice, and they tell you what you need to do. And so I'm gonna go up there Monday and get that. But then he also gets his power of attorney. Who else get one? The county clerk gets one. And who else? The lady that works for child support, DCSS, she's actually it's another lady that I mentioned in my last video, but this lady, she's actually assistant district attorney, so she got to get one too. So I'm gonna send her a power of attorney. So, and I have to get them green cards and record them. That way I got proof that, you know, that they actually received these things. And if I get the green cards later, I'll just print them out from the UPS, U.S. Postal Service website, print the deliver thing out and attach it and record it. You know what I'm saying? Either way, it's going in the court case. The evidence is going to be there. So that's how that goes, man. I just thought I'd go ahead and, you know, put this, go ahead and do what I got to do with this here. And I'm going to actually show up this time. You know, I've never not shown up for any one of these cases anyway. But traffic cases or whatever, I don't care to be in there. But this, I'm going there. I want to be there. Because I want to give everybody a piece of my goddamn mind. And plus now that you know, when you know what you know, and you know what the law is, and you put your paperwork first, and you stand on what it is that you, on your strategy, on what you're doing, on your paperwork and the law, you ain't worried about nothing else. I'm gonna show y'all something else before I let y'all go. Because a lot of people swear people like to downplay the Constitution all the damn time. And they try to make it look like, you know, these people don't have to, oh, the Constitution don't count, you know, you don't need to know the Constitution. And they really downplay it. But I'm going to show y'all that even in the state statutes, the Constitution stands. You know what I'm saying? They have to make decisions based on the Constitution. So I'm going to show y'all. They have to do it based on the Constitution. I'm going to show y'all. Give me a second. Okay, this here right here. Okay, this here in Georgia. This the code right here in Georgia. Duties, they say discharge of duties. Each of the judges of the Superior Court shall discharge all duties required of him by the Constitution and laws for the circuit for which he was elected or appointed, and may also hold court and exercise other judicial functions for other circuits when permitted by law. They have to do it by the Constitution. You know, they ain't railroading you. If you let them railroad you, that's on you for letting them railroad you. You know, you got to put your paperwork in place and stand on what it is you need to stand on. And don't let these people, don't let them. I'm at the point, I'm so confident now that if they go to try to yelling at you, try to intimidate, that's swindle. That's intimidation. You know, when you file something, you know, hold on, is that a swindle tactic? You know, that's illegal, man. You can't try this. You can't try to swindle me. You can't even. Who you yelling at? You know what I'm saying? You know, of course you don't be belligerent or whatever. But you know that's a form of intimidation. Is that what you're trying to do here? You know, I won't even let the prosecutor say nothing when I get there. Say something, I'm objecting because they have no firsthand knowledge. They got no firsthand knowledge of the facts. Nothing in this courtroom, nothing concerning this matter do they have firsthand. They have firsthand knowledge of it. And if unless they're willing to, you know, swear on the penalty of perjury before they start speaking, everything you saying is hearsay. You know, only me and my son's mom, only we have firsthand knowledge on what's going on here. So these types of things, you gotta put that stuff in order and make sure they don't railroad you trying to do all this extra fluff they do. So, and you just stay grounded in your thinking too. You know, if you get all emotional and belligerent, it's easy to lose your cool and you'll find yourself getting railroaded because of that. So they're gonna match you with that same type of energy, and you don't want that. You know, it's really just stressful. You know, not saying they can railroad you anyway, but the thing is, you just have to stay grounded in your thinking. Stay grounded as much as possible. But, you know, you don't have to be belligerent. I know it's kind of easier said than done. And when you get in that pressure, you feel that pressure all up in here. But you stand on your paperwork. You know, if you got to take a copy in there and just read it, you can do that. It counts, you know. But you just got to answer that shit. You definitely have to answer it. If you don't answer it, you lose by default. And that's what I'm saying. Power of attorney, they don't have authority to administrate your estate when that's proof on the record that you're alive. Only a living man could do a power of attorney. You know, and then you claiming your estate in that power of attorney. You revoking anybody else's authority with that power of attorney. That's written in there. It's written in there. And you serve the people that's participating in this matter. You serve them so they are on notice. That's record. You know what I'm saying? Protection. If you hadn't liked to subscribe, go ahead and do that, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Emerald, signing out.